What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're attempting the Glory Hunter challenge, but there is a twist because it will not be yours truly who is hunting that glory. It will be one of the most successful managers in the history of the game. That's right, today we're attempting the Glory Hunter challenge with Pep Guardiola. Now, I know what you're thinking, Potsy. Pep's already won everything in England, Germany and Spain and multiple Champions Leagues. Not in this universe. We have wiped that. He's got a few Manager of the Year awards. That's all. He's got Manager of the Year awards. No trophies. So he's starting a scratch. This 2023, he's got 20 seasons until he's 72 years old. Well, it might be tricky once he hits 72 to get contracts. So we may have to play around with his age as the save goes on. But what we have done, just to give a bit of realism to it, I'm going to largely let Pep go where he will normally go in the game. I'm pretty sure that with the update, Xavi is going to leave Barcelona at the end of season 1 and they may well turn to Pep. Thomas Tuchel may leave Bayern at the end of season 1 and they might turn to Pep. Now I'm going to let that play out. But when it comes to chasing a new job for Pep, that is where we come in. We have changed all my attributes to match those of Pep. We've even changed my reputation and my current ability, so everything you see here mirrors what it does for Pep Guardiola. So as we get further into the challenge, I will be applying for the jobs. If I get offered the jobs, I will be using the in-game editor to transfer Pep Guardiola into that job. Sounds simple enough? Let's go. Now obviously Pep has a slight advantage in this challenge in that he is starting off at Manchester City, who according to the season preview in the Premier League are 5-4 favourites to win it. They are also reigning champions in the Champions League and amongst the favourites to retain that title with 5 players in the Champions League Dream 11. I'll be honest, I didn't even know you could see this in the game, but I found it. It's there. You got 5 Manchester City players. So Pep's got a great chance of getting 3 trophies ticked off in season 1. Can he do it? Let's find out. Well, Pep wasted little time in splashing the cash, bringing in Zielinski from Napoli for 24 million, before adding Ricardo Horta from Braga for 25.5 million halfway through January. City players dominated the stats with Erling Haaland and Bernardo Silva finishing 1 and 2 respectively in the goal scoring charts, while De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva were 1 and 2 in the assists. And although not part of the Glory Hunter challenge, Pep would have been disappointed to miss out on an EFL Cup, which in this universe would have been his first trophy, thanks to a penalty shootout defeat to Tottenham. And a tricky end to the season saw him go down 2-1 at home to Arsenal in the penultimate game of the season. But luckily for Pep, the Premier League title was already sewn up, which was solidified by battering Liverpool at Anfield 4-1 in Jurgen Klopp's final game in charge of the Reds. The FA Cup started off with an easy tie at home to Hartlepool and a comfortable 2-0 win. It got a little trickier in the 4th round, but a 3-0 home win against Wolves was comfortable enough. Cardiff were up next at home in the FA Cup and it was another 3-0 win for Pep's side. And you guessed it, another home draw in the quarter-final, this time Blackburn visiting, and a 4-1 victory. Things weren't so easy for Pep at a neutral venue, and Liverpool at Wembley provided a stern test. A test which was passed on penalties thanks to Cody Gakpo's vital missed kick, which meant Pep would have the chance to tick off England in one single season as he faced Chelsea in the FA Cup final. A final in which he won 3-0 thanks to goals from Silva, Stones and Grealish. So there we have it, Pep Guardiola has completed England in the first season, but it could get better as he has a chance to win the Champions League in a final against Arsenal, who are still managed by Mikel Arteta. Can the protégé upstage the master once again and stop his main man winning a treble? No, he can't. Julian Alvarez with an 83rd minute penalty at Wembley, taking the silverware back to Manchester. So there we have it. 3 trophies in the bag for Pep in season 1 and some interesting jobs just about to come available. The Real Madrid job is up. Jurgen Klopp is favourite for it. But one thing I've decided to do to make it a little bit more realistic is I'm not going to let Pep go to one of his old team's rivals until the last kind of 5 years of the 20 when we're probably desperate to get something. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave that. We're going to look and possibly Bayern Munich or Barcelona, one of his former clubs. We might even go to Napoli as PottsyFM, that's me, is favourite for the job. So we could apply for that, and if we get it, we can let Pep go there and see if he can get Serie A. In fact, we're definitely going to apply for the job, and worst case scenario, we can just let it play out and delay the transfer if necessary. The Newcastle job's also available, but we've done England. A week had passed and there was still no movement, no interview from Napoli, and Jurgen Klopp still favourite for the Real Madrid job. Newcastle offered us a job interview, but like we just said, sorry Amanda, England's done. I didn't even realise the Chelsea job was available, but Todd, like I said to Amanda, England's done, my friend. We're now within a week of manager contracts expiring and we are no longer the favourite for the Napoli job. Peter Bosz from PSV Eindhoven has overtaken us in the odds. An interesting turn. But just 3 days later and we've been offered an interview at Napoli along with an interview at Real Madrid. As I said, we're not going to go to Real Madrid till possibly the last 5 years. It might upset Florentino Perez, but it's better for a challenge. And it's time to sit down with Napoli. The board are pleased that you've taken the time to attend today. Well, no problem, mate. It's only been 3 weeks. How would you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? Football transcends language, don't you, chicken curry, mate? Can you assure us that you would have no problem securing the backing of our players? Of course, I'm Pep Guardiola. Would you be comfortable working with Meluso, our director of football? Yes. As part of the recruitment process, we are willing to allow you to request changes to our current backroom staff. I don't think we need to make any changes to the backroom staff. And the long-term objectives seem fine for what we're trying to do. They don't want to set any expectations, more than fine with me, and we have no requests to propose. Now, it's time to sit and wait and see if we get the job. Well, the media certainly think we're back in with a shout. And just like that, Jurgen Klopp took the Real Madrid job. But on the same day, Xavi left Barcelona and Thomas Tuchel left Bayern Munich. I'm going to apply for both of those jobs for Pep because I think he's the man for it. Of course, they might make my life easier and reject PottsyFM and go straight for Pep directly. Win-win. But Napoli have offered us, Pep, the job. And they only want a qualification for the Europa League. Could it be a sneaky backdoor into it for Pep? We're going to delay it a week and see what the other boys say. We've been invited to interviews for both, promising signs, and we just gave them all the answers that they'd want to hear. The media think we're favoured for the Barcelona job. They're not too keen on our Bayern Munich chances. But I'll be honest, I'll be happy with either of those jobs. Napoli are keen for us again, but I think we've got a real shot at one of the bigger teams, so we're going to delay it again. Now we have a difficult decision to make. Bayern Munich have approached us and a £50 million transfer budget sounds promising. But I think we delay this and we wait out another week and see what Barcelona say too. So that is what we've done. And they agreed to it. And the next day, Barcelona approached us. But only 21 million to spend. And they've already let Lewandowski go to Saudi. I actually think Bayern Munich might be the better option. It's definitely an easier task to get 2 more trophies ticked off that list. And I think they're a better team. So we walked away from the Barcelona job, a decision that surely broke Pep's heart. Although if we knew they were going to accept a bid for Gundogan and give us an extra 15 odd million to spend, it might have influenced our decision. We also walked away from the Napoli interest. And when Bayern Munich came back in for us, we accepted the deal. By we, I mean Pep Guardiola did. And just like that, Pep has got a new home. And despite us going for a heftier transfer budget, Pep decided to not spend much of it. Brian Zaragoza was already pre-arranged, and I believe Nestori Irankunda is as well, but he spent the first season of his Bayern Munich career on loan at Dusseldorf. And maybe he should have spent more, as a draw away at Cologne at the end of August no doubt was a shock to the system. A bigger shock would have been the home defeat to Freiburg at the end of October, with Joshua Kimmich dropping an absolute stinker. Which might be why he sold Kimmich to Al Hilal for 128 million in January. He used those funds to raid Leverkusen and take Ezequiel Palacios to Bayern. He then raided Athletic Bilbao and took Oyhan Sanchez away for £69 million. And his January spending wasn't complete there. He got Luka Sucic in from Salzburg for £35 million. And coming out of the January window, he already sat 11 points clear of Leipzig in second. Surely it's just a matter of time before he walks his way to a Bundesliga title. And as for the DFB Pokal, he started his journey with a 3-0 away win at a team that I've got no chance of pronouncing. It was Magdeburg up next in the second round and a comfortable 2-1 win for Pep's side, and they marched on. Marched on to a 4-0 win at home this time to another team that I'm probably going to butcher the name of, so we're not going to try. Now Werder Bremen, that's a name I can pronounce, and I can tell you it was a comfortable 3-0 win for Pep's side in the quarter-final. But the semi-final was undoubtedly one of the biggest challenges on Pep's pursuit of a DFB Pokal, but he comfortably dispatched Dortmund 3-1 at home. And after comfortably securing the Bundesliga crown with a 16-point difference to Dortmund in second, it was Freiburg up in the Pokal final, a team that's already beat Pep's side earlier in the season. Could they repeat the dose and put a spanner in the works? It's a big fat no. They went down 3-1 in Berlin. They did get it level at 1-1, and Harry Kane even went off injured, but goals from Matisse Tell and Serge Gnabry turned it round in Pep's favour. So that's that. Pep Guardiola has completed England and now he's completed Germany. So all that's left to do is to terminate his contract at Bayern and see where the summer takes us. Some interesting jobs in the job centre, but if we take away England and Germany that have already been completed, well, one job stands out amongst the crowd, and that is Inter Milan, a £47.5 million transfer kitty. One of the best strikers in Serie A in Lautaro Martinez. I think we apply for that and see where it takes us. And you'll have to join us next time to see if Pep takes the Inter Milan job and tries to complete Italy, or will there be another spanner in the works, perhaps somewhere in France or Spain? You better like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join us next time to find out.